Chester Bless is a mystery, his organization even more so, and their presence seems more suspicious than ever. A cult, a murder, and even the board all seem to be connected to the mysterious Blessed organization. But who is Chester Bless? The Bless name first made its appearance all the way back in 1988, according to FBC documents, when an Altered World event was caused by a jukebox that Blessed Repair and Service had just worked on the day before. The FBC heard of the Songmaster jukebox after a local radio station aired a segment about all the diners from Texas Roadside Diner, telling the same suspicious story, that they had all been transported to a mysterious unknown sandy coastline. After hearing the report, the FBC retrieved the jukebox that same day, and every diner was told that their beach vacation was from a gas leak. When the FBC tried to get more information on the jukebox, they learned that it had been serviced the day before by a company named Blessed Repair and Service. The diner's owner told agents that all the albums in the jukebox had also been removed, and only one was left in their place, a record called A Song for the Others. But inside you can see a vinyl labeled Space Donut performed by Domo Corp. So it's assumed that the other side contains A Song for the Others. Either way, the jukebox now only plays one song. When the FBC tried to learn more about Blessed Repair and Service, they could find no information of a company of that name existing within the state. After this, they would add Blessed Repair and Service to their list of outstanding investigations. And this would not be the last time the name Blessed would appear in FBC documents. 6 years later, the Bureau would learn about Chester Bless. In 1994, a nationwide tour of motivational self-help courses became very popular. The Power of the Board, as it was called, was created and operated by a man named Chester Bless, and at the center of it was a surfboard. The 1960 surfboard was an altered item, able to give anyone who touched it confidence like they had never felt before. Numerous attendees that touched the item felt their optimism and confidence surge. People flocked from all around to touch the surfboard. When the Power of the Board became popular that thousands of people were attending, the FBC finally intervened, with plans to detain Chester Bless. But he outsmarted them. When agents arrived to raid and detain Mr. Bless, his house was empty, and Mr. Bless himself had vanished. The only item that remained inside the house, right in the middle of it, was the surfboard, waiting for the FBC. In May of 2015, the Blessed may have been behind the actual creation of an altered item. By this time, the FBC had been tracking and monitoring the Blessed Paracriminal group, and intel suggested that a large-scale event in Bloomington was imminent. Because of this, the FBC was able to respond almost immediately to the event, arriving only a few minutes after its occurrence, but unfortunately they were too late to prevent it. The Blessed group successfully derailed a train in Bloomington, Illinois, resulting in the deaths of 62 passengers and numerous injuries. This derailment is believed to have caused the train itself to become altered. Inside the train is a constant state of trauma, replaying the event of its crash in a loop from the impressions of the victims inside. To further investigate and contain the newly altered train, it was brought to the oldest house for study. In the aftermath of the derailment, several pieces of equipment were also left behind by the suspected group, and there was one suspicious onlooker who evaded capture at first. After the event, the FBC worked with the FBI to learn that the Paracriminal group operated largely in the American Midwest, and that they showed a concerning interest in experimenting with the artificial manufacturing of altered materials. Information acquired through the FBI gave the FBC information about the group's movements and rendezvous location, which was how they learned about Bloomington in the first place. The FBI also helped the FBC capture one of the Paracriminal terrorists. One FBC agent interrogated the captured member, and from their conversation, it's clear the suspected Blessed member knows quite a bit about the FBC.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
So you deny being a part of a radical group aiming to affect inanimate objects in a manner that would yield, unusual results?
Yeah, I deny. But hey, tell me more about these results. They sound real unusual.
I'm sure you recognize that the measures this group of yours takes to achieve their goals can be considered acts of terrorism.
Goals? Measures? You're being very vague. Did you know you're being very vague?
All right, 62 dead. Passengers and crew, innocent people. Still sound vague to you?
You might as well stop wasting both our time. I won't say anything, and you can't say anything. I know you can't.
Tell you what I can do. I can throw your sorry ass in one of our cozy containment cells. You can rot there until you're ready to talk. Or you could just save us both the trouble and tell me all about how you're going around creating altered items. How's that sound? Did you really think we wouldn't catch on to you? We always do. Always. So you might as well come clean. For your sake.
I think I'll just talk to my lawyer instead.
That's not how it works around here, buddy. But tell you what. Why don't I leave you here to think on it for a while? See you in a couple of days.
Wait.
During the interrogation of said paracriminal, he was kept in a holding cell for 2 days without food. This method of interrogation violated the Paracriminal Rights Act, and the agent was suspended. As far as the paracriminal, he did confess to being a part of redacted group, most likely Blessed, and he provided information on other members in exchange for his freedom. In 2016, the Blessed organization seems to have taken a more direct approach with their activities. America Overnight was run by the FBC, secretly used as a way to learn more about altered world events and paranatural activity. It ran for many years under the radar. No one suspected they'd become a target.
We have another letter from a listener. This one's unsigned but postmarked from Toledo. It says, "Dear America Overnight, I have the most wonderful appliance for your listeners. It is a miracle of God. A fondue set. A fountain. A blessed gift. Blessed is spelled with a capital B. Go on, they write. Dive on in. It is molten hot. Perfect for meat." No signature. As far as I know, no fondue set was sent to us here at the studio. Just this letter. Wait. I think there's something else in the envelope. Some kind of black powder. With white shards in it? Bone, maybe? Karen. What is this? Karen? You're on the air, Karen. Where are you? What? What's this powder in the booth? Is this ash? Oh God. Karen? How do I cut to commercial?
Karen had tried to use the Blessed fondue set and was immediately incinerated by it. When the FBC tried to trace the fondue set and its package's origins, they found the P.O. box it came from, and it belonged to Blessed Pictures Production Company. Further investigation into the P.O. box revealed that it had been opened all the way back in 1968 and had been prepaid all the way until December 2029. According to post office employees, no one was ever seen at the P.O. box. The FBC tried to learn more about the physical address or people behind the P.O. box, but nothing was ever learned. This same year, another altered item would make an appearance with another connection to the same production company, Blessed Pictures. Back in 1968, the Action Max camera was used to film an unreleased Western on the Italian island of Sardinia. The movie was never released because during filming, a cast member was killed during an on-set accident, and production was halted. After production ended, the camera was sold at auction and Blessed Pictures bought it. Fast forward to 2016, the FBC would finally learn of the altered item. When the camera was being shipped in a mail truck in Arkansas, the mailman was hospitalized and said his injuries were caused by the camera. When the camera was finally tracked and found, it was discovered alone in an empty warehouse. The return address led agents to a P.O. box located in the San Fernando Valley, belonging to Blessed Pictures. Several other films have been filmed using the altered Action Max camera, including Shoot First, Die Last, which was the movie that was unreleased. There's also Coffee Bullet, Billy's First Car, Bike Hard, and Delivery Disaster. Delivery Disaster was watched and reviewed on the Brian's Movie Den podcast, so the FBC brought Brian in to question him. In Brian's review, he talks about how Blessed Pictures knows how to push the boundaries of Western cinema, but they were a little too on the nose for him with their fourth wall breaking, because the actor would look at the camera and shout directly at it, like he was shouting at the audience. When he was interrogated, he told the FBC agent that he only gave it a high review because he thought it made him look smart. The agent realized that the guy was an idiot, but he was an innocent idiot. No other information about Blessed Pictures was discovered from the investigation. The Action Max camera itself seems to create a torqued version of reality, resembling the heightened drama and action of a movie. It records the footage and then makes its own VHSs of them. Whether the camera is making those affected by it hallucinate or is instead creating localized alternate realities is a mystery. In 2022, we learned from Barry Wheeler about a suspicious cult that he has joined in an email to Alice Wake. Blessed Wellness Retreat is run by a man named Chester, most likely Chester Bless. Barry says joining this cult was the best decision ever. He's never felt so good and healthy because Chester is a miracle worker. Chester also told Barry that he was lucky to have ended up at the retreat because something bad would have happened to him if he would have stayed in New York. Barry says that after the FBC creepos wanted to talk to him, he's turned into a bit of a conspiracy nut, hence why he believed Chester. Barry would send Alice 3 more emails after joining the Blessed cult, but it seems like he's back to work as an executive producer by 2023. So it's unknown if Barry is still connected to his miracle worker Chester Bless or the cult that he joined. But it makes you wonder, who else joined this cult and what did they want with Barry? The name Blessed has appeared several times in FBC documents, through the power of the board motivational courses, through the Blessed Repair and Service, and through Blessed Pictures. But Blessed has also been mentioned by the board. In the board hotline Objects of Power, the board says, objects of power are holders, /665 to the other, /blessing. What could this mean? Could Chester be like the former, a past member of the board? Could Chester be blessing objects to turn them into altered items and objects of power? What is Chester Bless? Is he even human? Whatever he is, I don't think we've seen the last of him. And his comments to Barry about New York are suspicious. Could Chester Bless be behind what is happening in New York? Is that why he knew something bad would happen there? Because he was going to cause it? And what has Mr. Bless been up to all those years that the oldest house was on lockdown and the FBC was a mess? Even more interesting, what does he know about the board? Why was the Bless P.O. Box paid until December of 2029? I don't think we've seen the last of Chester Bless or his organization. There's also something very interesting and specific about the Blessed organization's activity. They seem to be almost spreading worship. The power of the board, the song titled A Song for the Others, in conjunction with the board saying, the other/blessed. What does this mean? What is the other? And why spread reverence of the board? There are so many interesting theories around the Blessed organization and Chester himself, and I hope in Control Resonant we get to explore some of that. That is everything that we know about the mysterious Chester Bless and his organization. What do you think Chester is? What do you think he wants, and do you think he'll return? Let me know all your thoughts below, and thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more Control lore, I will be doing one Control lore deep dive every week until Control Resonant releases, so make sure to subscribe for more. Members and Patreon supporters will have access to these videos first. Thank you all so much for watching the video and supporting the channel. I am extremely thankful. Thank you to my Patreon members, thank you to my channel supporters. I will see you all next time.